Ooh, for sure. Oh, I think one of them, Evelyn, was supposed to be canceled. So don't call Evelyn. Yeah, she canceled earlier. And it was canceled, but it seemed like it like uncanceled. Yeah, no stress. Yeah, give Sharon a call. And yeah.
I think Sharon, I think, is on a road trip.
Okay, so she might not be coming. How are you doing, everyone? How's everyone feeling? Anyone
Hey,
feel any neck or shoulder pain or tightness or anything going on today? Eh, How about any lower back or hip stuff going on? Okay. Yeah. Good stuff. Well, as you guys all know, I'm Matthew Hamburger, and we're about to have fun with a posture police class. Let me just make sure everybody is muted. So yeah, so let's come to stand with our feet shoulder width apart. And we'll just start out with some hip wiggles. Just feel that tightness in the side of your hips as you do these. And as some of you have heard more than others, I say there's 3 P's of a posture police class. The first P being pain, which we want to avoid. And we want to feel the difference between the aches, the soreness, the tightness, the stretching. And let's turn these little hip wiggles into like a hula hoop, where we challenge that movement, maybe keeping your knees deliberately bent. Yeah, you can. I tend to feel it sometimes here on this side, here on this side. So, and then some people feel it more in the back. How are you feeling, David? Good. Yeah. Good stuff. So, from here, we're just going to transition into lifting our knees high, enjoying our lovely balance, noticing the difference. Talking about the second P, which is perception, notice the difference between left and right. Just if you're struggling to stay up for more than a second or two, maybe just make that your focus, putting your leg down slower. Yeah, good stuff. And now let's challenge ourselves to just open our knees wide. Awesome. So let's grab our corrective cane or our chair. And holding on with our left hand, we're going to lift our left knee as high as possible, keeping the knee bent as we kick back. And just feel that lovely ache in the lower back. Maybe you feel a cramp in the hamstrings. Maybe you notice that you're locking that right knee, and I urge you to just keep it a little bit bent. Beautiful. Let's do 3, 2, and 1. Let's do a little hip wiggle again, just feeling the difference, feeling the changes. Excellent stuff. Switching to the right side. And right knee as high as possible, and keep the knee bent as we kick back. Our knee glutes. So feel the difference between the right and the left. And if you have a hamstring like cramp, just embrace that. Don't stop because of it. but try to be mindful of pushing through that with squeezing your glute. And we'll do 4, 3, 2, 1. Good stuff. Let's do a little Tai Chi twist just to get that movement. This is where your socks might be a problem. So I like to say there's 2 of my non-traditional Tai Chi twists. One of them where we pivot the foot, and the other where we keep our feet planted on the ground. Feel free to switch back and forth whenever we do these in the class. Awesome stuff. And we'll enjoy this for 3, 2, 1. And as we come to a stop, we're going to do everyone's favorite exercise, a squat. So opening up, just feet shoulder width apart. I like to have our hands right in front of us, our elbows a little bit in. We want to really feel some tension in the shoulders and the chest. Keeping our chest up as we stick our butt back and squeeze our butt as we come all the way up. So it's not about really how far you go down. It's about how much you squeeze on the way up. Really get that squeeze in the lower back, well, in the glutes, but it can actually relieve a lot of lower back pain. And we'll do 3, squeeze your butt as hard as possible. Last 2, 20,000 times harder of a squeeze. It's physically impossible, but we're going to do it. Amazing. So before we grab a seat for a little bit, we're going to just do a few more things. Let's grab our corrective cane or chair. Again, maybe just do a little experimental hip wiggle. Just feel your hips. Maybe you came in, you're like, oh, my hips were tight. I've been sitting too long. Maybe you're like, I haven't danced since COVID started. And you're like, let me just pretend to dance in this class. But let's holding with our left hand. Having our left foot straight ahead of us, stabilizing with the corrective cane and the left foot. Rotate that right foot and hip inward so that your toes are basically big toe to big toe, and we'll go out to the side. And some of you, it's been a while since you've done this kind of stuff. And let's keep that standing left knee a little bit bent, just to make sure we don't lock it. 4, 3, 2, 1. And just to come, notice where you feel it. Like today, I actually felt it a little bit more right in here, which is rare for me personally. So maybe that's something you always experience. I don't know. But when I noticed that, I just wanted to bring that to your attention. So switching to the other side, holding on with the right, keeping that right foot straight, rotating the left foot inward, just going out to the side, trying to stand up straight if we can. And the hard thing is to keep that rotation as we do it and really rotate in from the hip. 4, 3, 2, 1. Excellent stuff. So you can hang out with your corrective cane if you'd like, but we're just going to, before we sit down, go up, out, center, down. That was nice. That was secure. up, out, center, down. And I keep on thinking if there is an optimal place to put our hands. And I don't think there is one. I think everyone's kind of like center of gravity is going to be a little bit different. Like sometimes I usually feel that it's best to go right here with our belly. And awesome stuff. We'll do one more on each side. So let's grab a seat. Thank you for the books. Thank you for the books. So we're gonna use the back of our chair, lean back, do kind of like one of a few breathing exercises that we do with Posture Police. So let's put our hands on our ribs. And we're doing what I call the rib breath. So let's breathe in through our mouth, expanding our ribs as much as possible. Now keep those ribs expanded while we breathe out. Awesome. So another big deep breath in through the mouth, expand the ribs. And now keep the ribs expanded while we breathe out. Sometimes I feel like it's like a tug of war going on right here a little bit. It's very normal to get lightheaded. And another big deep breath in through the mouth. Keep the ribs expanded. I sometimes open my arms out like this. And now keep the ribs expanded while we breathe out. All right. So we're going to do 3 more, but we're going to add in, or we're going to suck the belly button in while we keep the ribs expanded. So big deep breath in the mouth. Keep the ribs expanded. And if you can, suck your belly button in as you breathe out. Yeah, sometimes it's like, whoa, let's do 2 more just like that. Keep working at it. Big deep breath in. Maybe open the arms like this if you want to let your shoulders help open your ribs. Keep the ribs expanded as we suck in our belly button and breathe out. And last one here. Keep the ribs expanded, suck the belly button in while we breathe out. Awesome stuff. And let's now come away from the back of our seat. We're going to do what I call our UPS. So intuitively pick a side. We're going to cross one leg over the other. I know this is fun. So make sure you're away from the back of the chair. And we're going to start by putting our forearm on our leg and kind of just leaning forward. And this is where the third P comes into play, prana, where we want to make sure to breathe. And sometimes our hips could get really funky, and just 1% at a time. Big deep breath in, and then that extra 1% on the breathe out. Awesome. And let's put our hands on our thigh, not really our knee, not really our shin, and just give yourself a little push. Big deep breath in. And now let's do the hardest part, is we're going to prepare to release our hands while continuing to push our knee down. So feel that work. Maybe lift your chest up a little. Might be challenging. And breathe. And maybe every time you breathe out, you give yourself a little bit more of a boost down. I know it's hard. Deep breath in. And let's go for it. Feel, if you ever feel pain, you know you're going too far. And last big deep breath in, as now we begin to lean forward. Awesome job, Perla. And let's try to keep our spine straight if we can, as we just lean a little bit forward. And a big deep breath in as we lift our chest up all the way and start just reaching forward a little. Maybe a little bit more up. Awesome stuff. And a big deep breath in. Maybe go a little further. And enjoy this. Let's smile here. 3, 2, 1. And let's lean back into the back of our chair. Hug our knee into our chest. Sometimes we want to go towards our opposite shoulder and just appreciate our knee. We sometimes don't get this close to our knee, even though I've been saying that every class. I'm going to keep on saying that. Feel it in there. Big, deep breath in. And we'll enjoy this for 3, 2, 1. What does it feel like? Okay, cool. So we're going to switch to the other side. Use that forearm again. Lean. It's kind of like we're just leaning down a little bit. And continue to breathe. Yeah, so you might just be feeling an opening of the hip because we're putting our weight on it. So you might even feel it in the back. You might feel it in the groin, maybe in the hamstring a little bit. And we're going to change our hands. Put our hands on our thigh if possible. Lift our chest up a little bit. Big deep breath in, and on the breath out, go 1% further. And let's release our hands and continue to push our knee down. Yeah, the hardest part is this. Just push, push, push. Sometimes you have to like envision that you're pushing down. And from our don't write me a posture citation position, we will put our fingers on our sternum, lift our chest up as we lean forward. Notice where you feel it. Do you feel it on the opposite side from the other side? Sometimes we feel one of the sides more in our lower back. One of the main places we should be feeling it is in here, but sometimes it's not possible. Big deep breath in, and if your body says yes, go a notch further. If your body does not say yes, accept that answer. Another big deep breath in. Maybe a notch further if our body says yes. And 3, 2, 1. And let's hug that knee into our chest. Sometimes this is the best part of a class, right here, where we feel that stretch. Yeah, everyone experiences this. And if you kissed the other knee, you can always kiss this knee. And we will enjoy this for 3. Hug a little more. 2 and 1. And we'll slowly. We're going to just come up for a little bit. We're just going to come up to move our hips. We're going to come seated for one other exercise. So let's just do some hip wiggles, some hula hoops. Notice what we feel since doing that. Feel that tightness or lack thereof. Pearlie, you look like you're having fun. Sometimes I feel this one in my ankles. That's a real story. Awesome stuff. And let's grab a seat. Again, we're going to come away from the back of our chair again. Open our hands into, yoga would call this cactus arms. We're going to drop our chin to our chest, bring our elbows and our pinkies to touch, round our shoulders to do our posture police cat-cows. As you come all the way open, squeeze your shoulder blades together. And the one other goal is that we want to keep our elbows in front of our hands as we pull them back. So trying to keep your elbows in front of the hands. And if you hold your breath, I will write you a posture citation. So far, we've mailed out 4 to our virtual students. Sometimes it's usually based on supportive evidence from like a husband or a wife. And let's do 3 more. Chin to chest, elbows to touch as you come all the way back. And if it's hard to keep your elbows in front of the hands, you could always keep your hands behind your elbows. I know it's the same thing, but it sometimes makes a difference on our brain. It's like, oh, our hands can go back more. And then we actually, awesome. I'm sure your shoulders love that. So let's sniff it out. And try to keep your chest up so your spine is as straight as possible when we do this. Let's do 7 more. Awesome stuff. So let's raise our arms all the way up. We will now reach our left arm all the way down, bend our right arm, and just reach both arms away, trying to keep your spine, I guess you can say like front and back straight. It's obviously going to turn to the side, but we want to just reach our hands and stretch the side of our body and our ribs as we take a big deep breath in. And maybe go half an inch further with that right hand, half an inch further with that left hand, and just feel that stretch. And also notice if you're feeling it more in like the abdomen area or more in the ribs. They're both quite mobile. Big deep breath in, and let's go a little further over. Another big deep breath in. Last one. Enjoying this for 3, 2, 1. Let's just reach our arms all the way up. And before we do the other side, we'll take that stress from November 2020 and just throw it to the ground. Just one more just like that. And then all the way up, and let's do the other side. And just try to breathe. Notice how it feels different. Reach that left arm across your body. Reach that right arm down. And like you're towing a truck, or you are a tow truck and you're towing a car, you're pulling your ribs with your arms. Big deep breath in and deep breath out. Another big deep breath in and enjoy this. 3, 2, 1. We're going to do a set of seated monkey flies. Try to keep your chest up, your spine straight as you pull back and rotate. You can look to the side, check that your hands are level with your shoulders, and squeeze those shoulder blades together. Bless you, Nancy. And 3, 2, 1. We'll do another little Tai Chi twist to see how we're feeling. Maybe you feel this mostly in the hips, maybe you feel it mostly in the shoulders, or maybe you feel it all throughout your spine. Beautiful stuff. And in 3, 2, 1. Feet shoulder width apart. We're going to bend our knees a little bit, stick our butt out a little bit, lift our chest up, and pretend like we're grabbing some handlebars. Pulling the elbows all the way back, keeping them back as you slowly and forcefully punch. Elbows all the way back, and slowly, forcefully punch. Good stuff. Let's try to keep our chest up while we do this. Elbows all the way back, keeping our chest up, slowly, forcefully punch. Beautiful. Three more. 3, 2, 1. Who felt that in their biceps as a little bit of a stretch? Yeah. Cool stuff. We're going to do another now normal set of monkey flies. So knees a little bit bent, butt back, chest up, back of our hands together as we pull back and rotate our hands up. Yeah, squeezing our shoulder blades together on the way back, really forcing that squeeze. Squeeze the shoulder blades, maybe stretch the chest. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's just roll our shoulders. And maybe you want to do them one at a time. Maybe you want to do them together. Maybe you want to do a little roll and then a sniff. And just make sure if you're rolling back, we also want to roll forward. I feel like this could be part of a good dance move. It's like the Thriller. I feel like that is. Awesome stuff. And before we grab a seat again, put our feet shoulder width apart, butt back significantly. So we really want to be in this butt back, knees bent, chest up position. We're going to put our hands into kind of a V. From here, we're going to pull our hands. If they were that of a clock, one hand is going to 10, one hand is going to 2. And keeping our chest up and our butt back. It's the hardest part of this, to do both at the same time. It's like our chest could come up, but our hips want to follow. Keep our hips back, our chest wants to follow. And 3, 2, 1. And actually, let's do a little Tai Chi twist before we sit down again. Awesome stuff. And just notate, kind of take some mental notes as to where in your body you're feeling the most movement, the most change. Maybe your old tightness is now achy already, or maybe your old tightness is now sore. Sometimes it happens. So coming away from the back of our chair, let's put our hands on our thighs for a little while. And let's just go ear to shoulder and just create that dynamic stretch. And then we're going to switch to the other side. And feel that stretch, as the only force that's creating the stretch is us bringing our ear to our shoulder. And switch into the other side. And you can go at your own pace every 3 to 5 seconds, kind of be intuitive with it. But if you're ready to take this to the next level, you can keep your hands on your thighs as you pull your elbows and your shoulders down. So really pulling the elbows and shoulders down, anchoring that, which will amplify the stretch a little bit. Make sure to breathe. And as we go to the other side, we're experiencing, notice the difference. Are you tighter on the right, tighter on the left? Some of us, the real designed place to feel it is right at the side of our neck. But some of us feel it more in the front and some of us feel it more in the back. Amazing. And we'll do one more on each side. Maybe you hear those little crick cracks in your neck as you're breaking through. Usually some limitations, some scar tissue, some tightness. From here, lift our chest up, pull our elbows back a little bit, and our shoulders back as we just twist from side to side. Anchoring our shoulders and our elbows in place so we can get a good stretch here. And notice which side, if you're keeping your elbows and your shoulders back, which side is kind of hardest to keep them back? And then maybe one way you're looking further, literally. It's sometimes hard to notice because it's we adapt really well. So even if we're losing 10 degrees on one side, we sometimes don't even notice. But we'll do one more on each side. And let's drop our chin to our chest. We're going to do probably the most simple, maybe fun neck stretch. So dropping our chin to our chest and smiling up to our left shoulder or our right shoulder, back to center, and then chin to the right shoulder. Whatever. We're just going to go back and forth relatively slowly from right to center to left. Sometimes this alone could really help mobility in the middle of our neck, our cervical spine. Awesome stuff. Just finish with one more. We're going to now interlock our fingers. This is where all the fun stuff happens. And before we even do it this way, let's just bring our elbows all the way forward, then bring our elbows all the way back and lift them up. So this is what I call arrested elbows. We're doing it seated, which is not always done, but we're also going to do it standing in a little while. Elbows all the way back and then up. Up is the way we forget we can even move our shoulder blades. It's like our elbows can go up from this position. Yeah, good stuff. We got some great mobility. And we'll do two more just like this. Elbows all the way in, elbows all the way back, and then up, forward, back, up. Awesome stuff. So let's sniff it out. About 10 more. And now let's go back to interlocking our fingers. Behind our head, bring our elbows forward. And if you've done this with me before, you don't have to, but if you've never done this with me, watch the first time. So we want to look in front of our elbows. And the two main things is to keep our elbows in and to have our eyes lead the way. So look up to the ceiling and then lift our elbows up, our chest up. Maybe you're feeling some compression in the back of your neck, and then start looking towards the ground. As you pull your elbows down, you stretch the back of your neck while lifting your chest up. And make sure you breathe. Elbows together. As we reverse it, remember to lead with the eyes. So we're looking in front of the elbows, and then before we move down, we're looking down first. Keeping the elbows in. Make sure to breathe. Perla, try. I think you can keep your elbows in more. Yeah, that might be too much, but that's still good. And we'll do one more in each direction. Maybe challenging an extra 2% going up. And let's do let's just be a little, create some movement in our neck. I'm not a big fan of going all the way back and around. I was told some scary things in massage school could happen if we do that, but every other way, a little bit back is always fine, but good stuff. And let's do side to side again, just to close out our neck a little bit. And maybe if you feel one area that's really tight when you do this, that's actually the best time to literally get your fingers there and massage actually the tight spot. That's what I would do. So maybe you feel one area super tight. Let's actually do that. Let's leave some. I'm changing the course and incorporating self-massage right now. I wasn't planning on it, but we're doing it. So let's find those tight spots in our neck. Just continue to stretch and massage a little bit. Feel those tight things. I promise you're not going to do damage to yourself. Your body will prevent that. And we'll just do another minute or two of this. Yeah, and maybe from this, you're surprised that you feel one side tighter than the other. Maybe you feel little knots, or maybe you feel big knots. Not big lots, big knots. And let's just move our hands over. Let's hang out here. We could lean back into the back of our chair, and let's get our stress points in our neck and shoulders. So let's do one side at a time. Yeah, you can just grab. Or you can do more of poking around. Or you can even, what's even a reasonable thing is you can just poke your knuckles in there. I use an electric drill, and I'm just kidding. And let's switch to the other side if we haven't already. I like what you're doing. Going for. Yeah, sometimes you notice that even if you mentally deal with it, sometimes our stress really piles up in our shoulders right here. And we'll do this for about 10 more seconds. Amazing. And before we come up to stand, maybe play around with your neck. Maybe you feel like you even have more mobility now. That self-massage, that directed blood flow, that could do a lot. And soreness should kind of be expected through this stuff. And we're going to slowly come to stand. So we are going to do one more set of knee glutes. But the thing we're doing this time, we're going to hold it with our left hand, lifting our right knee as high as possible, keeping the knee bent. I forgot what here, actually, high, then to the side, then center, and then back. So it's up, out, center, back. And you get bonus points if you do not have to put your foot down like I just did. Up, out, center, and back. Up, out, center, back. Up, out, center, back. And two more. I know you wanted to be done with this already. Out, center, back. And before we just switch it over, we can do a little hip wiggle. Maybe you're noticing after everything we've done, you got some weird realizations in your hips. Maybe you're just ready to take a little walk. And then, yeah, sometimes walking is really good when we open up our hips and do this kind of stuff so much. So holding on with our right hand now. Lifting that left knee up, out, center, back. Up, out, center, and back. I broke my own rule. I was thinking about what I was going to cook for dinner, and I lost my balance. Up, out, center, back. And we'll do 3 more here. Awesome. You could just put it on the flat wall. It'll be fine. Good stuff. Let's hula hoop it a little bit, feeling those hips move. Good stuff. So we're going to open up into a lunge position. Interlocking our fingers, putting our hands behind our head. Let's make sure that our front knee is bent and that our hips are pointing forward. So we're going to bring our elbows forward, elbows all the way back, and then lift them up. Elbows all the way back and all the way up. Excellent. Elbows all the way back and all the way up. You're doing awesome, Nancy. I hope you're doing good, Jean. Elbows all the way back and up. You're doing awesome, Perla. And you're doing awesome, Dave. And sometimes I even feel like this is a good opportunity to use how we opened up our ribs. So that sensation of opening up our ribs, we can use that here. So we'll do 2 more on this side. Up and all the way back. And just if you were really deep into that lunge stance, you might even feel some tightness in your hips already. So switching to the other side now. Front knee bends, back of the hands together, interlock back, hands interlocked to the back of our head. Front knee stays bent, hips go forward, elbows come in, elbows all the way back and up. All the way back and up. And make sure that front knee is staying bent all the way back and up. All the way up and back. And 2 and 1. Good stuff. So I like that, Perla. So I'm going to copy off you. I was going to start swimming, but let's sniff it out. So don't think about breathing out. Just in and just let it go. Just think about just physically letting go. I like to say our arms fall like limp noodles. Good stuff. And let's open up our feet shoulder width apart as we reach all the way towards the ceiling and we swim it out. Just keep on trying to reach an inch closer to the ceiling or the stars, just all the way up 1 inch. And now let's go a little higher even. Maybe feel all that stretch that we did earlier working through with this. And let's backstroke it now. So for the backstroke, we want to keep our chest pointed forward as we do this. Awesome stuff. We're going to open up into a monkey fly again. This time, we're going to focus on our shoulders rotating. So rotate our shoulders all the way in and then all the way out. If you'd like to squeeze your shoulders together as well, that's welcome. No one's ever going to say no to that. But notice if by just doing the rotation, as much as it's an almost identical movement, we usually feel it in different places. Like I sometimes feel it more right in here. Do you feel that anywhere? Cool. So some of us I know are feeling it here. Some of us feel it in different places. And we're going to do 45 more. 4 to 5 more. You've heard that one, right? Yeah. Once I do it once, it never works. It only works the first time with people. And we'll do a little Tai Chi twist. If you'd like to bring out the helicopter, you could bring out the helicopter. Helicopter is when we just swing it more horizontal, more aggressive. We try to take flight. Good stuff. So we're going to get our spine moving for a little bit. We're going to open up, shoulder width apart. We're going to drop our chin to our chest. And with keeping a slight bend in our knees, we're going to roll down, keeping our chin into our chest. So try to get as much of a round in your spine as possible. Maybe even suck your belly button in. And before we come up, we want to really get our chin into our chest and slowly come up, gliding our hands up, using our hands as like a slowing down mechanism. And when we feel like we're standing, we power our chest up and lift your chest up. So there's a lot of movement we can get and then power our chest up. Yeah. So we're going to do a handful more of those. Let's do 5 more. Chin into chest, round our shoulders, suck our belly button in. And before we come up, chin into the chest and slowly come up. And we got 4 more of those. So just remember to keep your knees slightly bent and then keep your chin into your chest until you power up. Awesome. Chin into chest, rounding the back. And then slowly rounding back up. How you doing, Perla? Yeah, if you need to take a little breather, we could do a little baby Tai Chi twist before we do the next few. And back to it, dropping our chin to chest, keeping our knees a little bit bent, rounding all the way. Suck our belly button in. Keeping our chin into our chest as we come up until we're ready to power up. And I'm pretty sure we have just 2 last ones. So let's do it. I'm curious how this feels for you, Gene. The last one. Good stuff. Let's do a little hip wiggle once we're done with it. Just feel how all this movement is affecting our hips. We can really wiggle it. And to take all of this full body again, we're going to do everything we can to keep our chest up. So maybe we want to actually put our fingers on our sternum and use this as a guide to keep our chest up. But we're going to do another set of squats. So opening up our feet shoulder width apart. Let's keep our fingers here. Keep our gaze straight ahead or up. And butt back. Keep your chest up. Squeeze your butt. So you still want to be careful with your knees. You don't want to feel anything in the knees. So we want to stick our hips all the way back. Chest up, squeeze our butt. And maybe slow down the squeeze. So let's do 4 more where we slow down the squeeze. Squeezing a little longer if you'd like. 3. Maybe you want to lift your toes up for the last 2 because it keeps our hips and the weight of our body back. Last 1 after this. And squeeze our butt all the way. Woo! So let's go into just lifting our knees high. Notice the balance. Has it improved? Has it worsened? Maybe it just feels easier and lighter. Maybe it feels harder and heavier. Suck your belly button in while you do this. That's a good way to get extra balance and stability. Beautiful. Awesome stuff. Let's do some hip wiggles again, maybe hula hoop. Let's actually do the hula hoop specifically. Really keep our knees bent and really put all of our thought into challenging this. Maybe it feels really different in your lower back from before. And let's go in the other direction if you haven't been switching back and forth, possibly making yourself dizzy. And let's come back to center. Feet shoulder width apart. We're going to close out the class in our standard ceremonial way with our knees bent, butt back, and our chest up. So we want to feel that little ache in the lower back. So if you don't feel it, let's stick our butt back a little more, lift our chest up a little more. You feel the ache? All right, keeping our knees bent, we're going to squeeze our butt forward, suck our belly button in, and squeeze our butt some more. And let's go back to center. From here, knees bent, butt back, chest up, feeling the little ache. Keeping the knees bent as we squeeze our butt forward, suck our belly button in, squeeze our butt some more. And on this last one, we're just going to do it a little bit longer. Knees bent, butt back, chest up, squeeze your butt forward, suck your belly button in, squeeze your butt some more, and keep that squeeze as we walk around like this. How you feeling, David? It has. Nice seeing you. Awesome stuff. How are you feeling, Perla?
I feel good.
Awesome.
I needed it bad.
Yeah, sitting a lot?
No, just a lot of humidity and achy. So I'm feeling it all over. And yeah, I'm sitting more or less. Yeah.
Well, thank you for joining. How are
Thank you
you
for having us.
How you doing?
I don't know who you're talking to.
Oh, Nancy.
Oh, you guys talked at the same time. I didn't hear you. Sorry. I feel good.
Okay.
I
Very
took 2
good.
days off, so
Say that again.
I took 2 days off the mat, so
Very good.
Feel-
Well, we all need the rest.
I needed a rest.
Yeah. How are you feeling, Gene?
You're
Hold
muted,
on.
Jean.
You're muted.
Sorry. I had a kink in my shoulder blade, and it's gone now. I feel good.
Awesome.
I know exactly what exercise did it too.
Back elbow punch.
No, actually clasping, putting it and looking up and then going down.
Oh, that's a really good one. I don't know
Yeah.
if you've ever left as a Google review, but that sounds like the perfect thing to put on a Google review.
Okay.
You're
I don't
awesome.
think I've ever left one.
Okay. Well, thank you for joining.
Thank you.
And yeah.
See you
Have a-
tomorrow at Yin.
Yes, I'm excited for that. I got some quotes together. I'm taking some like the best of some. Yeah, I'm doing some fun things.
Can't wait. Have a
Have a
good
good
night. Thank you. Bye, Jean.
Bye, Nancy.